Raychell's trying to get the crowd riled up. Haley doesn't need to get riled up at all. Haley goes digging. What the hell?
Looks like a sock.
I am actually a little bit surprised that there's anybody in this arena chanting Hollyhood's name. Isaac, you're gonna have your work cut out.
I don't know
for you
how
tonight,
Isaac
buddy.
is gonna keep these women contained until this bell rings.
The crowd chanting, "Let them fight." We've been waiting for this a long time. Since the end of Rise of the Vixens 2, have we been waiting to see this matchup.
That is right. This match has definitely been a long time coming, and there's the bell.
I don't think that Haley needs to do any more work to rile up Raychell.
That is right.
Haley about to give Raychell a free shot.
I'm not sure that was a wise decision, Jacob. And powering her into the corner.
Into the corner.
Rapid fire shots from the Queen.
Raychell with a tackle as if she's trying to audition for the Texans D-line. Now in firm control on top, throwing those punches. Isaac's only in there to count a pinfall or a submission. And Raychell all kinds of fired up. We talked about this being familiar territory for Promise Braxton, but Emily, how about Raychell Rose?
That is right, the current Diamonds champion.
That is correct, the current reigning and defending Diamonds champion. As Haley on the outside, maybe calling for a
Haley might
breather
be trying to readjust her game plan.
Throws that chair at the charging Raychell Rose. She caught that one square on the head.
Right,
and now
Haley tying up that leg on the bottom rope.
And again, I talked about how Isaac is only there. Oh! Isaac's only there to count a pinfall or a submission. Haley has got a bamboo cane, and she going straight after Rachel's legs, which is a smart move. She can't nail that shining wizard. She can't nail that super kick.
Goes under the ring, comes back with a chain.
Raychell
Rose.
Rachel's got one of those canes.
For that bamboo
Hollyhood's
cane.
got one of those canes.
Haley asking the Queen to put down the cane.
She'll put it down if you put it down.
Maybe. There's a lot of passion in this match.
Definitely a lot of passion.
Very fired up.
You know, Raychell has seen Star Wars more times than I care to admit. So we're about to see the Texas City equivalent of a lightsaber fight with some bamboo canes.
That is right. Ooh.
And and you can hear the crack from those canes echoing here in the
shots
arena.
With those canes back and forth.
That is a stinging shot.
Oh. Caught the cane and returned back to Raychell.
These girls are just teeing off on one another. As Haley goes into her bag of tricks. And the chair is out. She's going to wedge it in the corner. You know, Raychell is looking a little worse for wear. Haley, though, has bad intent in the corner as she lands a swift kick to the face. Hollyhood thinking the one person in here crazy enough to be chanting for her. And now, just laying in.
And this crowd starting to get behind Raychell.
As we said, Raychell Rose is the current reigning and defending Reality of Wrestling Diamonds Division champion. It's no surprise that people would be behind her here tonight. Haley James is an unknown entity to a lot of these people, except for the one very enthusiastic fan in the second row. Raychell fighting back. Raychell with the Irish whip, reversed, able to stop herself.
Able to put the brakes on. Backs up Haley with an elbow.
And now.
Oh!
That one cost Raychell big time. Went for a very interesting cover, but Haley James with that leverage just kicked Raychell square into that chair.
And
Raychell
Raychell down on the outside.
Raychell on the outside right in front of us. Raychell. Now Haley James with that dog chain around the throat of Raychell Rose, just dragging her at ringside.
Up against those steel steps.
Rachel's face bouncing off the top of those steel steps. Those steel steps weigh more than Haley James does soaking wet.
And
as Raychell whipping Haley J
with that
chain. These two women hate each other with a burning passion of 1,000 suns. And there's the chop.
And a big chop from Haley. And Haley wedging the leg of Raychell into those steel steps.
And it is a dirty move, but it is a smart move. Again, we talked about how dangerous Raychell is with those kicks. That Shining Wizard, that super kick that has become her signature. Haley trying to take that away from her here tonight.
That is right, trying to ground Raychell Rose.
Haley asking the important questions like she didn't bring a garbage can.
Where are the weapons?
I need that.
Taking the hammer from the bellkeeper.
You brought the garbage can, Haley. I don't like her very much. As Raychell is hobbled on the outside, she may not be able to walk.
Stammer to her feet. Still down on the outside. And a chair into the leg of Raychell Rose.
Raychell just trying to fight back. Haley lays in that chair shot and just tosses it aside like yesterday's lunch.
And this crowd trying to will Raychell Rose on.
Oh!
And Raychell reverses.
Raychell counters that Irish whip. Haley right into the corner. That ring post has no give. That is solid steel. As Raychell uses the steps to brace herself.
Back up on her feet.
Raychell at least back to a vertical base for the time standing, trying to will some life back into that leg. And now Raychell charges in.
A big spear to the outside.
And Haley's down. She might have cracked a rib on that one. And now Isaac counting both women down. I'm not sure if either of these women is going to be able to walk out of here on their own volition. Haley able at least to get back on her feet. She's rolling back into the ring. Raychell using the barricade to pull herself to her feet. And this match will continue.
And Haley going for those bamboo canes,
got
both of them.
Both canes just going to town on Raychell Rose. And now using that cane to choke the life out of her opponent. Emily, we knew this thing was going to be violent. We know how badly these women have wanted to go after each other. Raychell
Rose.
Raychell has been asking
hitting
for
the
this
back
match.
of the knee of Hollyhood.
Rachel's been asking for this match since the end of Rise of the Vixens 2. Hollyhood Haley J, the reason why she walked out of Rise of the Vixens 2 not as the Vixens champion.
That is right. As Raychell tees off on Haley a little bit.
Retribution for Raychell Rose.
Finally with it.
Hollyhood trying to beg her off in the corner. But if you're Raychell Rose, what reason do you have to back off? The crowd saying one more time, they want to see
Haley rolling to the outside.
Wisely rolling to the outside. Raychell
giving chase.
I wouldn't use that crutch if I were you. One of you is going to need it to walk out of here.
You might need it. Haley J with that bamboo cane to Raychell again.
Violent shots. These women fighting with every ounce of their being. This is a true grudge match, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that we don't see every day. This is something that we pull out for special occasions.
Raychell caught that cane and now returning those swings to Haley.
And now getting inventive. Raychell tosses it away. She's going to go hand to hand here. But you can still see Raychell favoring that leg. And Hollyhood right back on the attack, going right after the leg.
With that crutch. Haley says she's going to break a kneecap.
Haley swinging for the fences, teeing off on Raychell's leg. Haley says she is not losing, but Raychell trying to maintain proximity. Into the barricade.
The barricade goes the queen.
Steel barricade. Very little give there. You saw it shift. And now Haley going back after the crutch.
And a drop kick from Haley into that crutch.
That
onto
was
Raychell
violent.
Rose.
Haley seems to be enjoying herself quite a bit here tonight, relishing in the violence that she is able to unleash on Raychell Rose. As Raychell
throwing
Haley
into that barricade.
And now stomping away. Maybe it's not such a great idea to leave Raychell with at least one good leg. The history here between these two women, both of them.
Haley snuck into the crowd, Raychell following her.
Both of them want to walk out of here with a victory. Raychell willing to brawl in the crowd.
And a big chop from Raychell Rose.
When we said this was a Skreet fight, we meant it was a Skreet fight.
What did she just put on her head?
Ladies and gentlemen, these two women are we've heard the fight forever chants before in many different arenas at many different wrestling events. If someone started chanting that now, both of these women would likely oblige.
That is right. Both of these women very headstrong, not wanting to give up.
Yeah, you want to talk about
There's
You want to talk about two of the most stubborn women you will ever meet in your life. You could not imagine any two more hard-headed women than these two. To put them both in a match, I don't know what we expected other than complete and utter chaos.
Amen to that. And that's just stubbornness in general. If you don't put the history in there, there's so much history with these two women.
Yeah, there's so much here. As
so much animosity.
Haley looking for perhaps a suplex on onto the ramp. And Isaac staying on top of things as Hollyhood and Raychell getting dueling chants here tonight as they make their way back into the ring.
Haley throws Raychell back into the ring.
You've got Haley pressing that advantage. Just thrusting palms first into Raychell's chest, looking to break that sternum, crush the diaphragm, make it hard for Raychell to breathe. She's already practically on one leg.
Ooh, and another chop.
I'll tell you what, Emily, you don't often see Raychell on the ropes like this. I can't remember a time in recent memory where Raychell Rose hasn't been in stiff competition, hasn't held pace, but Raychell is really getting it taken to her here tonight.
And Raychell firing back up.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Raychell might be getting that second wind. Trying to will some life back into that leg.
Going for that running knee.
And there's the running knee.
Slams Haley back into that middle turnbuckle.
Stiff drop kick to the back. And now Raychell fired up. She can feel it. Goes for a cover. 1, 2. No. Only a 2 count.
This crowd back behind Raychell Rose.
The crowd firmly behind Raychell at this point. Raychell, who wants to walk out of here, closing this chapter against Haley J. But Haley taking full advantage of this Skreet Fight setting, knowing that anything goes. And sometimes short arm clothesline into a cover. 1, 2. Sometimes
only
Emily,
a 2 count there, both women down.
Sometimes, Emily, you just got to do what you have to do to pull out the win. And the fans here may not like it, but Haley J is very much suited for this environment as she tosses that garbage can into the small of the back of Raychell Rose. And she goes to the outside. She's grabbing that other chair. Haley, a devious little street demon if I've ever seen one. Has got that chair.
As these 2-3 fans here cheering for Haley.
I'm not going to lie and say that Haley J isn't charismatic, but I am surprised by the level of support she's getting here tonight. Everything that she's done, her actions, her behavior, for her to get cheered in any way, shape, or form tonight is astounding. As Raychell lays it in with a vicious chair shot. It's hard for me to even. Oh, Haley. Now Haley with a chair shot of her own.
And Raychell is down.
Would you like to place a wager as to what both of these women's emergency room bills is going to be at the end of the night? As Raychell kicks the chair out, trying to create some separation.
And Raychell going for that chair.
Raychell looking to do some damage here. Rachel's got a chair. Oh, and now Haley trying to beg her off.
Trying to plead her case. to the queen.
And Raychell, that may be the only time I've ever seen Raychell show mercy, and she might live to regret it. Haley takes advantage of Raychell's good nature, whatever little is left there, and goes for the cover. 1, 2, but it's not enough. Emily, Raychell kicked out.
Yes, she did. That had to have just been desperation.
Even Haley is a little bit surprised.
As is everyone in the World Gym Arena right now.
Oh, what's she doing here? What's Hollyhood draping Raychell against the ropes? Raychell is dazed. She's got to be seeing stars at this point. I'm not sure Raychell knows that she's in Texas City. I'm not sure that Raychell Rose knows that she's in a fight. Oh. But Hollyhood going under the ring here again. She's got ill intent on her mind.
Oh, and this is remnants of Rise of the Vixens 2.
Hollyhood has got that duct tape again. This was at the end of Rise of the Vixens 2. You saw it. She duct taped Raychell Rose to the ropes. That is the only reason she did not leave as champion that night. And she tried it again, but Raychell is not going to let that happen here in Texas City.
Not going to let that happen twice.
Fool me once, shame on me. Luthez press, and there's the fists. Full mount,
and
throwing
Raychell
blows.
Rose is fired up right now.
Raychell Rose has got the chair. Super kick into the chair.
And Haley J is thrown for a loop here now.
Raychell off the ropes, off with her head, onto the chair. And Raychell goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Raychell Rose has won the Texas City Skreet Fight.
Raychell Rose.
Both of these women went through hell. Both of these women gave it all they had. They brought everything except the kitchen sink. But Raychell Rose emerges victorious here tonight after a hard-fought battle with Hollyhood Haley J.